Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at the RugOne Xever 8 with 256 gigs of storage and 8 GB of RAM memory. This phone is something that we haven't seen in a long while, and I would really appreciate if other manufacturers started following this trend and include a swappable battery. That's right. It's as easy as popping up the rear cover, and then you have access to a swappable battery. How cool is that? Also, installing another battery is super fast and easy. So before we dive more into this, let's go ahead and check out what comes in the box. So the front of the box is pretty clean. As you can see, we have the brand name on top left, RugOne, and an 8 right here. Then on the bottom, we actually have the phone model and the IMEIs. Nothing really on the other sides, so we can check out the back, where we can see that this phone is IP68 and IP69K waterproof and dustproof. It features hi-fi audio. It has their Torch X. It supports eSIM. The screen is actually quite big at 6.5 inches diagonally with Full HD Plus resolution and 120 Hz display. It features a MediaTek Helio G200 SoC, has 256 gigs of storage with 4,800 mAh of swappable battery. Again, amazing to see this in 2026. The rear cameras are 64 megapixels and 20 megapixels, and of course it has NFC. With that out of the way, let's see what we get in the box. Right on top, we have the phone. So let's set it aside and see what else is included in the box. This is a huge charging base, but this also serves dual purpose because you can charge the phone here, oriented vertically, but also you can charge the swappable battery, which is very nice. Moving on, we have an 18-watt charger with this rugged aesthetic, which is pretty unique. I haven't seen this one before. And then the box of accessories. We get a braided charging cable, which looks to be around a meter. What else is in the package? Oh, there's a lot in the package. We have a guitar pick to help you actually swap out the battery. We have another battery included. This is amazing. I love to see a second battery included from the package. So you can just have this one charged, and when the battery in the phone dies, you can just swap them around and you can keep going. Very good. There's also another cool back cover for the phone in this camo pattern, which I really like. We have a lanyard for the phone, the user manual, a user guide for the charging station, some safety information, a warranty card, and again, something really nice and appreciated, another screen protector, straight from the box. Let me clean all this up and then we're going to be back with the phone itself. So now back to the phone. It comes in this protective rubber-like sleeve, which we can remove. And then we can check out all the sides. Starting with the top, we have a very powerful flashlight, a headphone port, and what looks like an infrared blaster, but I'm not sure. Again, this is a rugged phone, so we're gonna have the bumpers on the corners all around and generally more protected than a standard phone. On the right side, we have volume up, volume down, a power button with, I assume, a fingerprint sensor, then a camera or action button. We have a speaker grill here, the lanyard loop, the USB-C charging port, and also the two contacts that actually interact with the charging base to charge it when it's in the base. We also have a microphone right here, and on the left side another one of these action buttons and the SIM card slot. Moving on to the back, we see here a triple camera setup with a very big speaker next to them where the hi-fi audio actually gonna come from. We have a flash here, and then we move on to the most interesting feature of the phone in my opinion, which is the removable battery. Right here, we have a toggle switch to actually lock in this rear panel. But if we move it to the right and we pry right here, we can actually remove the rear cover. And we can look at this in a bit more detail. We see on the side there is a gasket all around. So this is going to protect the phone from water and dust ingress, giving it the IP68 or IP69K rating. There are also two contacts right here telling the phone if the back cover is off. And then back to the main culprit, the phone. We see a second lock here to further secure the battery. So if we swipe this to the right and we use this pull tab, we can just remove the battery and swap in a new one. How cool is that? So let me just put this back in, secure it with the lock, and I'm actually gonna use this camo rear cover because I like the aesthetics of this one more. Installing it back was super easy, as you saw, and then we just lock it in place and it's not gonna go anywhere. Now we can peel this off. And if we pay very close attention to the camera, we see that there's already a screen protector installed on the phone. And now we can actually turn it on, see how fast it boots and what kind of apps we have pre-installed. Honestly, just the first impressions, I must say it's not too big, it's not too bulky like standard rugged phones. It feels good in the hand. For me, with a little bit bigger hands, it's quite easy to reach the sides without shifting the phone too much in my hand. Although being 6.5 inches, you still need to do a bit of shifting to actually get to the corners, but that's okay. The shape sits very well in the hand. The button placement is exactly where I would expect a power button to be. And now we can dive deeper into the phone. So let's increase the brightness to the max. And first thing I'm noticing is this 120 Hz screen is super smooth. And the included SoC actually makes it quite responsive, I must say. Yeah, no complaints there. So let's start from the beginning and see what pre-installed apps we have right here. On the first page, we have the standard Google suite, so nothing to complain about. Then we have some AI tools. We have an AI text assistant, an AI pet, and AI call summary. These are pre-installed from RugOne. Sound recorder, it's always good to have. Theme is nice, we can change a few themes if we're connected to the internet. And it looks like I was correct. And we have an IR blaster here on top, so you can use this phone as a remote controller for your TV, soundbar, projector, anything that actually uses IR, which is great. We also have the freezer here, which is going to put apps in basically a deep sleep mode to not use any system resources. We also have an FM radio, that's okay. There's a cleaning assistant that can optimize your phone if you have a lot of stuff open. There's also dead pixel detection, and it can use internal vibration to remove some dust from the ports. That's really cool. We have Mobile Guardian here, giving you an overview of your device. Phone service, where you can get to customer support, shop accessories and whatnot. We have Netflix pre-installed, which maybe you like, maybe you won't. I actually appreciate it because I watch a fair bit of Netflix on my phone. Then we have Children's Space, where we can disable mobile data and then choose which apps can be accessed by child profile, and then right here we can enter child space. We also have the transfer assistant here when you're moving to a new phone. Game acceleration. We then have the Torch X, and this is gonna have two modes, flashing and then always on, and we can also crank it up to the max, and it's actually quite bright, I must say. Certainly brighter than the standard LED flashlight. Then we have a bunch of tools here, like a compass, alarm bell, barometer to see the atmospheric pressure, a pedometer to track how many steps you've taken, underwater camera app, and a bunch more. And then Easy Launcher, which is making all the apps bigger, so it's easy to get to them. Okay, let's connect this to Wi-Fi. And now that we're connected to Wi-Fi, we can actually test out the hi-fi audio on the back. So we just need to go to YouTube and let's find some non-copyrighted music. And we can clearly tell the sound is coming from the back. We can increase the volume. This is at max volume.
I'm gonna get rid of the stress. I'm feeling lighter. I'm finally feeling like I can breathe. The night is cold. Tension, gonna blow in the breeze. We're rolling downtown. We're moving to the side. We're rolling downtown. Oh yeah. When your
Okay, first impressions about the hi-fi audio. It actually has a decent amount of bass. It gets pretty loud while staying clear, and I'm really surprised about that. Also, check out these nice details around the camera with all the gold and the chrome. It looks really, really good. Speaking of which, we can actually test the cameras. So let's enter the camera app. We're in photo mode, and let's take standard photo of this planter. Something with a bit more light, let's say the phone box. And then let's also check out some video. Starting with the planter. What about if we need to focus on the background? It's pretty fast. Then focus on this box. And then focus kind of close. Yeah, it can actually focus pretty close. Then back to the box. Really nice and fast. Here's the spare battery. Relatively close. And we can also check out the 2x camera. There is a bit of stabilization going on, but not too much. So some micro shakes, especially when you use the 2x camera, are going to be visible. One more thing that I want to show you is the charging base with the spare battery. So let me get it plugged in. And so we plug in the charging base. We can also plug in the battery, just like this. You see the light turning red, meaning it's charging. Now we can also take the phone, put it in here, and as you can see, it's charging. This is a really cool idea for having on your nightstand, for example. Actually, let me move this around so you can see this a bit better. So yeah, this is amazing to have on your nightstand because you have a place to charge the spare battery and the phone without needing to fumble around with any cables. Let's say this just lives on your nightstand. You just plop the phone down and it's gonna start charging. You don't need to worry about plugging in cables, making sure it's charging. So as I was saying, this is great to have on your nightstand because just by double tapping the phone, you can see the time, you can see your notifications, or if there are no notifications, you get a clock big and center, making it super easy for you to tell what time it is. So again, very useful accessory. We can also check out the side buttons. Pressing and holding, of course, turns on the camera, and then pressing once takes a picture. And then we can actually go to settings and actually configure our left shortcut key. So now for a single click, we can assign it to do nothing. For a double click, we can ask it to open Torch X. And then if we do this, all the other buttons are going to be locked. So let's do double press and it's on. And pressing it further increases the brightness. And then if you press and hold, the flashlight turns off. We can do the same for the right shortcut key. So a long press triggers the camera. And for example, a double press, we can do magnifying glass. Okay, so with a magnifying glass, the single click is now turned off. So if we double press, we can use this and actually get magnification. So if you're looking for a rugged phone that actually gives you 2 batteries in the package for a very decent price, a fast 120 Hz screen, super nice cameras, and an extremely loud and clear loudspeaker, not to even mention the top super bright flashlight, the Xever 8 from RugOne is something that you should really consider. If you like this phone and you're thinking about buying one, of course there's going to be links down in the video description where you can check it out. Consider giving this video a thumbs up. Why not subscribe to the channel for more tech videos like this one? And I'll see you next time.